Hi guys, my name is Nyree. I'm running a supportive adoptive channel for either new adopters or even adopters who have children, where you can gain from tips, advice, my experiences and stories. Today we're going to talk about the types of questions that you can ask the foster carer before you adopt your child. And I'm going to just say that it varies enormously about what type of response you get from a foster carer. So I will go through some questions for you as a guide, and you will need to use your wisdom when you get there to think about whether some of these questions are going to be appropriate. It might be that you've had notes through already to tell you some basics about the child that you're adopting, but once you adopt the child, they're very much yours, and so it's really important that you ask as many questions as you can. The first thing that you need to know fully is exactly what happens in the child's daily routine. So even if you don't intend to follow that in the future, to start with, you would aim to try and stick as closely to it as you can. So what time do they normally wake up? What do they normally enjoy for breakfast, and when do they have breakfast? And what activities do they like to do after breakfast? So what is the norm straight after breakfast, and what is the norm in the morning? So if the norm is actually they watch 2 hours of telly, you need to know that, even if you don't want to do that when they come to you. So do they have a snack time in the morning? What types of toys do they play with? And what types of snacks do they enjoy? Food is so important to children, so it's no good you potentially offering lots and lots of healthy snacks to start with if they're used to very unhealthy snacks, or the other way around. You're going to have to mirror some of what is already happening for the child. You would ask whether they have a daytime sleep and what the routine is for the sleep. So how are they put down for a sleep? Are they put down in a cot? Are they taken for a walk in the pram? And what time does that sleep normally happen, and for how long? And then in the afternoon, is it a repeat of what happens in the morning, or does the foster carer normally go out to people's houses? What's the balance between the morning and the afternoon routine? And then, of course, we come to tea time, which is always a lot of fun because you may have set things that you enjoy eating. It might be completely different to what the foster carer normally provides. So tea time, the time of it, do they have an early tea? Do they have a late tea? What types of things are they offered? And are they always offered a pudding, or do they have to eat their meal first before they get a pudding? Do they not have a pudding? Whether they're offered fruit regularly throughout the day, whether they drink water throughout the day, or they're offered different types of drinks. All of those things are really important to know and to jot down, because it's so important that you have some of those things to mirror what happens with a foster carer, at least for the first few weeks. And then you can try and develop your own routine and what you believe that you want for your child over time. Then we get to the evening, and you would ask what the evening routine is for the wind down to going to bed. So do they have a bath every evening? And if so, what time? What do they enjoy doing in the bath? Is there anything about the bath they like? Anything about the bath time that they don't like? If they have any triggers for fears and phobias. So hopefully in the documentation that you've had about the child, you'll be told if they have any fears or phobias. But sometimes information can be very sketchy and you may not have been told everything. And that might not be deliberate, that might just be how it's been recorded. The foster carer is the person who knows much more in depth how this child functions. So ask the foster carer what fears or phobias they have and what triggers them into negative behaviour. And most importantly of all, ask them about the most challenging behaviour that the child has and the challenges that the foster carer faces every day. Encourage the foster carer to share with you. You want that foster carer to be as honest as possible, not because you don't want to then go on and adopt a child, but because there'll be no surprises when the child comes to you. They're very likely to mirror those behaviours that they've had with the foster carer. You are not going to be able to eradicate or be a total remedy for those behaviours. The last thing is do they show obvious signs of neglect and abuse? Do they react to situations? And has the foster carer noticed attachment issues? Do they feel they've built a good attachment with the child, or do they think there's still a long way to go? Because again, it will be similar for you. you can almost then open up the conversation to foster care and say, is there anything else that you feel that we would like to know? And that way you have a history of the time that the child has spent with a foster carer, and then all that remains is for you to get a history, if possible, from the birth mother or the birth father, and I will cover that in a separate video. Guys, I'm here to support you as potential adopters, current adopters, and to help you through all the journeys of your life with your adopted child. If you think that could be useful, then please take the time to subscribe to my channel, and I can see you on my other videos.